friends, welcome to my YouTube channel, Poverty Hill Adventures. I'd like to welcome all my friends, and I'd like to give a special, very special welcome to someone who has never, ever watched a Poverty Hill Adventures video. And let me explain. A friend of mine by the name of Jim B, and he watches the channels. I think he's a subscriber, and he watches the videos on my channel. And he told me the other day that his wife has never watched the channel. However, she overhears him watching the videos, and you know, he's watching them on his computer, and she's in another room, and she overhears him when he's watching the videos. And she made a comment about, "Are you watching that guy again?" And that's the hello, friends. So I'd like to give a special hello to Jim's wife. Today's video is going to be a odds and ends video, or as I like to call them, an Oddments video. This one would be Oddments number 102. I've been hunting turkeys my entire hunting career. I enjoy hunting turkeys, but I'm beginning to find some challenges to hunting turkeys as I get older. Physical limitations, can't, you know, easily get into spots that I used to when I was younger get into. And then when I'm setting up, I can't sit as long as I used to. My legs fall asleep and I get uncomfortable. In the old days, I'd leave the camp in the morning, hunt all morning, climbing the hills, and when I set up on a bird, I'd just sit on the ground with my back to a tree, and I traveled very light. But now that I'm getting older, I'm finding some challenges to doing that, some challenges, and I'm hoping that a recent product that I bought helps me with one of those challenges, and that's just being comfortable sitting on the ground for long periods of time without my legs falling asleep and me moving around and my back bothering me and such. So let me show everybody what I just bought. I haven't used it in the field yet, but I bought a hunting chair lounge. I bought it from one of the big franchises out there, and I did the order on the internet, and amazingly, a little over a day later, it was delivered to my house. So let me set it up and show everybody what I'm talking about. This is not a paid endorsement, and I'm not even going to endorse it because I haven't used it yet turkey hunting. I'm just going to show everybody what it is. It's a little short lounge chair, camouflage. Comes with a strap. It's not light, but it's not heavy. I think it's manageable. And hopefully, what I'm hoping is it's comfortable, and that it'll allow me to sit turkey hunting longer than I can right now. It's got like a strap here that locks it all in place. And there we go. And it just kind of opens up, and it's got Oh, a fairly wide feet on the chair, so hopefully it's stable. We'll find out in a minute here. And it's got little pads on the bottom of each of the legs, so hopefully it doesn't sink in the wet ground. Now I'm going to try it out. Now, you guys don't laugh because I'm getting old and it takes me a little time to get down in there, but let's see how it is. Oh, that's not too bad. Very comfortable. Yeah, I could see me sitting there waiting for that boss gobbler to come along. Nice and comfortable. Doesn't appear to make any squeaking noises or anything like that. So I just wanted to touch base with everybody about stuff like this. Maybe some of you guys are in the same boat I am, getting older, and you know, you got to make adjustments. You got to make adjustments if you want to keep doing the things that you love. So the chair itself was relatively inexpensive. They had a deluxe version, which I didn't buy. But the basic version, what you see here, cost about, I think it was about 25 bucks. So if it allows me to get out in the woods and hunt longer and be more comfortable hunting, it was a well-spent $25. Recently, on one of the Show Your Bow Show series on this channel, I did a video about a friend of mine, fellow archer, by the name of Sharky. And Sharky talked a little bit about the bow he was shooting and a little bit about his archery journey. And he's been shooting the same bow, the same Ben Pearson bow, for over 50 years. And he just loves the bow, shoots it well. So that got me to thinking about my own archery journey and my own collection of bows. And in the last few years, I've been gravitating more and more towards primitive self bows and getting a little bit away from laminated recurves and longbows. Well, Sharky's video, talking to Sharky in the video, kind of inspired me to break out one of my old friends here. This is a Northwind flat bow, and I used to shoot this bow almost exclusively. Shot it. I've owned this bow now for well over 20 years, and it's a great shooting bow, and I really enjoyed it. And like I said, I just kind of drifted away a little bit. I was hanging on the rack. So today, I'm going to get reacquainted with an old friend. Well, I'm going to keep on shooting this, and perhaps this Sharky's tale of his bow he's had for 50 years and this little clip in this video will encourage some of you who haven't picked up an old friend lately and taken it out shooting to do so. On Monday, April 8th, there's going to be a solar eclipse. The moon is going to block out the sun. I guess it's a rather rare event. I read where it was every 300 years, and where I live is going to be one of the prime viewing areas in the whole country. So that's exciting, and I'm hoping to perhaps do a live stream on the channel of the solar eclipse on April 8th. But if that doesn't work out, I'll put together some sort of video for everybody. And speaking of solar eclipses, my friend Dino contacted me the other day, and he is planning a really unique archery event that's going to coincide with the solar eclipse. And he's got all sorts of things planned, all sorts of special targets, and I'm not sure how it's going to work or how it's going to go, but he asked me if I would paint a target for one of the stations at the solar eclipse archery shoot. Well, I jumped at the chance. I like messing around painting things. So I painted the eclipse of the sun, and that's going to be the target where you're going to want your arrow to go. And then just for fun, I added some flying saucers and some Martians. The same day that I made the solar eclipse target, I did another painting that day, and here it is. It's I don't know, hopefully you can see it. It's Bigfoot, and he's out in the forest, and he's playing guitar by the campfire, and it brings me to the question, what song would be sung by Bigfoot in the forest? And I got thinking all different old classic rock songs, you know, and the one that came to mind that I thought fits this painting perfectly is a Leonard Skinner song, and it's "Give Me 3 Steps," and I can just picture Bigfoot singing, "Give me 3 steps, give me 3 steps, mister, and you'll never see me no more, for sure." So, so it was a fun painting to paint, and it has a home. It's going to my friend Ray's son, Ian. His name is Ian, and he's a one of the premier tattoo artists in our area. He has his own shop and just does phenomenal tattoo work. So this painting here of Bigfoot playing the green electric guitar in the forest by the campfire, singing "Give Me 3 Steps," has got a new home over at Ian's Tattoo Parlor. Here's something for all you lovers of axes out there, and you guys that collect axes and use axes. A couple of pretty cool things. There's a book that I recently was gifted titled "The American Axe, the Tool That Shaped the Continent." It's by a fellow by the name of Brett McLeod And it's, first off, the book is just beautiful. The photography in here, the print quality, everything else. It's a hardcover book. It's just beautiful. So if for nothing more, the pictures in it are worth getting it. But what I found interesting, has all sorts of chapters in here. Interesting and useful. Let's see, here we go. They have charts with all the different common American axe patterns. And anybody who collects axes knows that there's all sorts of patterns and style axes. And this is pretty handy in identifying some of those axe patterns. It also has axes from the golden age of axe making. Here's a classic that every axe man would love to have in his collection, and that's a Black Raven axe. Winchester axes, all sorts of specialty axes, clean cut, Norland. Here's a chapter on modern axes, campfires with axes, racing axes, making modifications to axes, finding vintage axes to restore, putting new handles on old axes, restoring the head on old axes, what to look for as far as a good vintage axe. And here's a chapter, playing with sharp objects. So I highly recommend this book. It is a very cool book. So any of you guys out there that are into axes, check out this book. And then there's a calendar that goes with the book. And in the calendar for each month, it has the axe of the month. How cool is that? And a little something about the axe that is featured that month. Just a very cool combination of the book and the calendar for all you axe people out there. I was hanging out with some friends a couple days ago, and the conversation turned to making a campfire, and all the various methods that are out there to make a campfire. And I encourage everybody to learn as many techniques to build a fire as you can, and practice with them and everything else. However, the conversation got around to the number one, forget about everything else. I fell in the creek and it's 20 below zero. I got to get a fire started right away method. And my 2 cents on that part of the conversation was a ferro rod. And ferro rod, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's a metal rod, and when it's scraped, it produces a very hot spark. This one I rehandled onto a piece of antler, but it's a typical ferro rod, and with the right tinder, you can start a fire in some really bad conditions. You can drop this in the water. You can do all sorts of things on a windy day. It'll still work. Doesn't require any fuel. It does require decent tinder. You can use scratched up birch bark. That works well. Some grasses, dried grasses and such. But what I like to carry is just some simple cotton balls in a plastic bag. And for those of you who have never seen one of these, it's as simple as scraping it. And once those sparks hit those cotton balls, after they've been fluffed up, they'll ignite. And they should give you a fighting chance, or one of your best chances at getting a fire going in any types of conditions. A ferro rod. That was just with a regular plain cotton ball. If you want to get a little longer of a burn time, take the cotton ball and rub it in some petroleum jelly, and it will probably burn, I'm going to say, 3 or 4 times as long as it does here. Another thing is make sure you have all of your fire starting materials ready for once you get that initial flame, and you know, your kindling, and like I said, perhaps some birch bark or dried grass or whatever else you feel would work, and all your fuel for that fire together before you get the actual flame. I've got one pet peeve with ferro rods. Here's one that came with this knife here, and that pet peeve is on these different survival shows and all these folks on TV and everything. They mistakenly call a ferro rod a flint and steel. Well, flint and steel fire making is quite a bit different than starting a fire with a modern ferro rod. It drives me crazy when I hear these so-called experts calling a ferro rod a flint and steel fire. I suppose that's about it for this odds and ends Oddments video. But before I end the video, I want to acknowledge some YouTube channels that I subscribe to and that I enjoy. And my way of acknowledging them is they end their videos with sayings, and I'm going to quote their sayings. The first one is from a channel called Plain Old Chuck, and Chuck always ends his videos with the saying, "Be kind to each other." What a great way to end the videos, and I'd like to acknowledge Chuck for doing a great job on YouTube and reminding everybody to be kind. Then we've got the channel Robert Badin. I've been a subscriber to Robert's channel for many, many years, and Robert is a trapper up in the wilds of Canada. He's a native Canadian, and he always ends his videos with the saying, "You're awesome. Stay awesome. You're awesome." And what a positive statement every time Robert ends his videos, which, by the way, are very good, with that statement. And then another channel that I subscribe to, Spirit of the Outdoors. Fantastic channel. I really enjoy it. Fella from way down south, and he does a lot of fishing, outdoor stuff, some trapping, some hunting. Very enjoyable videos. And in the end of his videos, he ends them with the best way to, or no, let me get this right. remember, the best way to do something is the way you like to do it. So I wanted to acknowledge those 3 channels. They're great channels and great people. So I'm going to give you my own ending to this video, and I'm sure many of you have heard it before, and that's take care. Thank you for watching. Remember to keep on trucking, and just like Bigfoot, believe in yourself even when no one else does.